We're going to dive into the day. There's a bunch of different things that I'm watching heading in today. SCOTUS Day is today, so pretty pumped to see what that does. And we will wait and see if we hear anything from space today. But if you're just popping in and I'm not here, it's because I have gone to get coffee. So I will be right back. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. Just want to do this, over here. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that much better. It still hurts a little bit to breathe. I have been doing some exercises and workouts though that have, well, it does still hurt. It's a little bit less than it was last week. So we'll wait and see. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's COVID or something else. It might be COVID. We'll see. We'll see. A little bit of a lung pain going on. Um, Ooh, 2 months. Thank you kindly, sir. Yeah, me too, man. But guys, most of you that have been hanging out here for a while, you know me. I'll probably just push through as much as possible. However, I do want to put my health first. Obviously, as a dad with a whole bunch of kids and stuff, I want to make sure that I'm doing what's best for them as well. So, um, what I will be doing is most likely cutting down from the 4:30 a.m. stream. I know that this time of year, especially with my PTSD, it tends to get worse as well as we head into Christmas. So I've been wrestling with that. Unfortunately, it may look like the early morning 4:30 a.m. stream gets cut until after Christmas. I may bring it back in Q1, but for now, it may get cut. And we're just going to do the morning open. I'm going to try to stick around probably till around 11 instead of just dipping out of here at 10:30 every day. But, a couple of hours at least from 9 to 11 every day. Break down the market open for you guys, break down what we're looking at, what plays we're taking, and then hanging out with the crew inside the Discord chat. I will continue to be on Stocky's morning call as well. So if you guys are members of that community, you'll be able to see that there. But pretty crazy day to day. I'm excited to see what we see from the SCOTUS approval later today, what that does to the market anyway. What I'm looking for, I'm looking for marbles here. Marbles on stream. Boom, 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 boom. And those fitters. All right. This is gonna be a pretty low and slow marbles today, it looks like. Yeah, again, like uh even though the market's not looking solid, I think that's yeah, we're gonna be talking COVID for the next little bit anyway. But I don't know that it's an absolutely massive deal. Okay, guys. I think what we see is COVID actually becoming less and less of a huge thing, and more we're talking about the election as we head into November 3rd. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, let's go. Let's go with some Marbies. As always, guys, whoever wins. Yeah, we can definitely look at semiconductors today. I'm not going to keep notes. You guys just shout it out, and I'll do my best to get through them all. But yeah, I mean, semiconductors. Let's see how they do. Graphics cards. Let's see how they do. But for right now, let's go to the marbles. Okay, to the marbles. The marbles. Featured tracks. Adorable, abundant celebration. Devilish, demonic adventure. In we go. I will be racing against you, ladies and gentlemen, today. Feel free to just hop in. All you have to do is exclamation mark play, and you're in. For those of you watching elsewhere, joining us on Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, you're welcome to hang out, enjoy the show. Unfortunately, Marbles functionality does not work cross-platform. So if you want to get into the Marbies game and pick your stock first thing in the morning, you got to be on Twitch. Love seeing all the sub icons, guys. You guys rock. Uh, Subscriber numbers are the highest they have ever been after the last 2 weeks. So you guys are amazing. Really appreciate that. I think everybody is in. Get in, get in, get in. If you're not in, get in now. Winner gets to pick the stock we watch into the market. Let's go. 10. Wait, what? Oh, we're over here. Okay, I was looking the wrong way. Ooh, Yura. 3 months in a row. Coming in hot. All right, this is kind of a cool thing. So it looks like we're gonna go. Do we actually get to go through that snake? No, nobody goes through the snake. Okay, interesting. Millennial doing what he does. He's in the lead. We got Caps coming in behind. Lol Gore Hunter. Man, rigged. Pay to play. That's right. Pay to play. How we do? I'm okay with being a sellout here. Don't act like y'all don't like your tendies. Everybody loves a tendy. Feel like I'm missing the beauty of this course because there's like a lot of really cool things, and it doesn't look like anybody's actually using them. It looks like this is like this guy did a lot of work to make it look really cool, but it's not actually doing. Marcus taking the shortcut, going right down the middle. Into the pipe. Funny spinning thing here. Spinning red snowflake. Okay. Wait. Wait, what happened? I don't know what this is. Oh, you want to go off the tube? Okay, we're going up. Oh, I got stuck. Wait, okay. Marcus won. Mm. Master Cobra, we start every day. Whoever wins gets to pick the stock. And then Fridays, I give away a sub before we head out for the day. Otherwise, I don't play marbles throughout the day. I'm not going to upvote that one because I'm not quite sure how Marcus won, but Marcus won. So congrats, Marcus. Go ahead and shoot out the ticker you'd like us to watch. And that is what we will be keeping our eyes on into the market today. What's gonna be? What's gonna be? ACRX. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. ACRX, 2 days by the minute. Okay. So I've got that on the chart. We'll watch that going in. I love it. I love the call. Guys, a couple of things that did happen last week as far as my holdings go. As far as my holdings go, I should say. Um, you'll notice for those of you that are keeping track of the portfolio here, and you better good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Portfolio and say for you guys to watch. You'll notice that on this portfolio, ACRX, my holdings have been halved. I have exited side-eye, and I have entered a position with SPAQ. Now, space guys, I know space is down. There's a lot of people that are like, what's happening to space? It's awful. What's gonna happen? Just they're in their window. They're in their window. They're saying late fall, so sometime November they'll announce the date. It's just a little bit longer play is all. It's not that they have scrapped launch, scrubbed launch. None of that's happened. We're just waiting on the day. There's a lot of people saying that they'll probably drop it on their earnings early November, but we'll wait and see. SPAC UT I mean, come on. The the retail traders love the EV right now. It's just too big to miss. But yeah, you'll see that right now I've got about 30% of the portfolio allocated to space. 23% of it is ACRX. Suns out, guns out. I mean, I was kind of chilling. Actually, I kind of just didn't get ready today, so I get to just throw a hat on like whatever clean shirt I can find. Um, but yeah, the guns. I'm new. Should you buy a call on waiter? I so that's a great question, Skyrim. The best thing to start with on that is a disclaimer that I'm never going to tell you what you should do. I this channel is very different from a lot of the stock streams that you're going to watch out there where people are telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to be doing is teaching you guys how I break down my plays, how I come to my decisions, and how I do my due diligence. I'll give you my thoughts on a stock, but whether you should take a play or not, that's on you. So my thought with Waiter is that Waiter has shown itself to be extremely strong. It's profitable in a sector where typically we're seeing underperformance and no profitability. So a lot of the other players, the Grubhubs, the DoorDashes, the Uber Eats, they like to talk about, oh, our orders are up. Look at our order numbers. We've got a lot more orders. What they don't like to talk about is profitability because despite their orders being up, they're still not profitable. Whereas Waiter, quarter after quarter after quarter, they're coming in with profits. And that's a big deal. I like their model better than Uber, which is trying to compete for New York and major population centers. Instead, Waiter says, listen, we're going to go low and slow. We're going to become profitable in a community and then move on to another community and become profitable in that community and move on to another community and become profitable. So they do it one by one by one by one. I'm a big, big, big fan of that model. I prefer it to the idea of everybody competes for LA and New York. Um, whether you take calls or not on Waiter is on you guys. I am completely transparent about what is in my portfolio. Um, I know that there are a couple of folks out there saying that traders online don't actually show their portfolio. They don't prove that it's real. They don't. Okay, so here's the actual portfolio, guys. Um, no problem, Skyrim. So for me, it's like here's this. Here's the actual portfolio. This was 2,200 US at the start of the year. It's up to a book cost of 27,000. It's worth about 26,000 right now. So we're still doing all right. We did take a bit of a hit on this with. I took a bit of a hit on this with side eye, but it is what it is. It'll do what it'll do. iPix is a Q4 play. ACRX is a Q4 play. They have been for a long time. Space is into the upcoming launch. And then SPAC is into later this week. Waiter is first week of November on their earnings, as far as we know. They don't have a confirmed earnings date, but that is there. So as far as options, guys, the options portfolio that I had all but given up on, this had about $100 left in it from the 500 I started the year on. It's growing nicely. It's got net liquidity of 2.2K right now. I've got some November plays for November monthlies, AMC puts. I'm probably going to look to exit those if this goes profitable for me. I don't need to look to make much money on this, but I am liking some other plays a little bit better. I do have DGLY and Waiter also this month, and then for December, ACRX calls, DGLY calls, and ETM calls. So we'll wait and see what happens here. I think that DGLY is about to do really, really well for itself, both with the thermoview vision and the dashboard cameras, body cameras. I really like DGLY and what they're doing. AstraZeneca, of course, guys, in January. That's my pick. Blader, what's up? Hey, hey. AstraZeneca is definitely my pick for the COVID race as far as the top runners go. I picked, you guys saw in my equity. That's my long bomb. That's my QB play for a COVID play. WPRT guys, again, that's the uh, propane conversion deal. What's up, people? Love. Yeah, that's the COVID conversion deal that we're looking, or the propane conversion deal with China that we're looking for. I priced it for January. I think that we probably get news sooner than that, but I've got it on January here. And then I did take calls on Mattel and Wells Fargo into April. ET as well. I have a $10 call into April. This could potentially run today on the SCOTUS nomination, but I believe they're going to be hearing that court case before April. So the stock on that I think is ET and DAK are the two that we're really watching on those. So get rid of that. Go here. Make sure the big sheet's up for when we open. Okay. Go back to the browser. Okay, so let's go here. Ooh, AstraZeneca poised to be delivering the first batches of the COVID vaccine to London hospitals next week. That's big news. They're going to start vaccinating people with it. That's big news. Pretty excited about that. ET is what we want to look at. Um, Supreme Court. No, this is one of those Twitch chats, guys, where it's all about you guys. I want to try to help you understand what's going on and see what's happening. So definitely don't be afraid to ask questions if you want to know what stocks we're talking about, why we're talking about them, what sites we use, all of those things. Please don't hesitate to ask. Supreme Court. Yeah, I will definitely. We're just getting ready for the market opening here, so we'll watch ACRX for the first few minutes of the market, and then we'll move into whatever you guys want me to check heading into the week. Damn. GMBL. Oh yeah, this is this esports thing. Yeah, we can definitely take a look at it. I'm not very bullish on the sector, but we can definitely take a look at it. Pipeline decision. There was not that I'm aware of anyway. The reason why we're watching ACRX is the winner of Marby's today selected ACRX. With ACRX, it's just a matter of waiting till that earnings and seeing how much money they made. Um, okay, so here are the major cases. So, Supreme Court ruled that the president is not immune from giving his financials over. They approved that companies have the religious right, the right to. What site is this? This is graphics from Reuters. Why do you take a position in SPAC? Because I see it running on the merger news on the 28th. This is a ruling by the Supreme Court that the Electoral College is going to continue to work as it has. They approved faith-based funding, education funding for faith-based institutions, so Christian schoolings can get that. That's the vote. Yeah, the 28th is the vote. Um, the Supreme Court struck down a Louisiana law making it difficult to get, and Roberts often seems to be the swing vote on this. He's kind of the centrist. I think they do a lot more than 6.15 million, to be honest. More authority for Trump, Homeland Security. Oh, market's open. All right. There's a lot of cool courses there, guys. There's the link on that. You can check it out. I just play it through till the end. I know a lot of people go into that stop loss thing, but all right, we open ACRX $1.74. Is this a buy the dip? Morning, morning, morning. Yeah, I miss being here, guys. But after the funeral, and then I had to bring my wife for meds. I had to get out of here early. Yada yada yada. My own health is in question. There's going to be some changes, guys. We're going to be doing this from 9 to 11 every day. I'm going to commit to that. But that early morning stream, just with my health not being super fantastic, I probably won't be doing the 4:30 a.m. streams like I had been. I'll look at doing that again come Q1. But I know that right now with my physical health, and I know my mental health is going to decline into Christmas. I can definitely commit to these 9 a.m. to like 11 streams, but there's a good chance I'm probably not going to be around for. I will not be around for that 4:30 a.m. stream like I was, and that's not to say that that won't come back. It's just I've got to be putting my health first for sure. So that's going to be a thing. Okay, so ACRX out the gate. This isn't a nice little buy the dip, guys. I gotta be honest. Like you look at this over 6 months. Their last earnings they came up around the $2 line. For this to be at $1.73 right now, that's kind of in this channel here. It's forming a channel. It's not. I mean, this is the top here, and it kind of came up to a little bit under that, somewhere in here. But I think on this earnings, this is going to go quite a bit. Exactly. So watch list. Let's see what the market's doing. Out the gate, AstraZeneca's looking quite good, 2% gain. Space up, SPAC up, LAC up. SPY is making a recovery. Waiter up, WPRT is up. So ACRX is one of the few ones that's down. My average on ACRX is $1.72, so I'm still profitable on it, where it is right now. Yeah, I just think SPAC is a really strong play, guys, on the week. So the big loser right now for me looks like there's no really big loser today. ETM's down a little bit, but I may actually throw another. Well, we'll see. Yeah. I'll work on it. I'll work on getting SPY to turn around here. Yeah, I mean, it's down a little bit here at the gate, but we'll see what comes back as we head closer to election, guys. We'll see what's going on with that. It looks like ACRX is going to stay red out the gate here. Maybe it'll buy up a little bit, but it's not going to be anything super crazy. Um, Sauna time. Ooh, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, I think right now, guys, with space, it's a diamond hands thing. Just kind of hold it and wait, see what we got. AstraZeneca is going up like it should. What kind of an interest do we get here? This hasn't moved a ton as far as the options go. These guys are the big ones, Mattel and Wells Fargo. Now I've got these into April. They are down right now, but honestly, it's not a huge deal for me. I think Mattel is going to have a pretty crazy quarter. Um, if we look at Mattel, if we look at Mattel, yeah, I think them heading to 16 a big old Christmas is not crazy. Luggo or Hunter with the follow. Ooh, yeah. It could come back down. Definitely could be profit taking on AMD. Just want to see what was the high on this thing. Yeah, I mean, for it to come back up to this 20 level on Mattel, I don't think is impossible. Um, Came up pretty close last January. The January before that came up to close to that 16 level. So I'm pretty happy with it where I've got it on the options play at 16. Wells Fargo, I've got it 30. So this is the fall from COVID, and they've never recovered. They're still down in this channel. I really think, guys, post election, when we get the stimulus, people start to see their money come rolling in. You're going to start to see Wells Fargo run into April. Any bets on when Virgin Galactic announce that launch? I think it's going to, I mean, if it's not this week, it's on their earnings call. They're going to announce it. And it won't be any later than the end of November. So for me, it's like, okay, I have to bite the bullet and hold that for the month. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I don't. I would prefer that it was. This is not the right thing. Looking at the Canadian one, Wells Fargo. See, a, a Wells Fargo call to 30 for the year. I'm not too concerned about that, right? It's got to go up $8. Like, Is buying the SPAC dip a wise idea? Um, who knows what's wise these days, right? This is a bit of a wild ride here. So let's look at the year. Here's SPAC on the year. Ran as high as 20, back down. As high as 16, back down. Uh I mean, I just threw another 1,000 in there. I'm fairly confident about it. Um, so I got about 7 grand inside this. What I do like about my portfolio, guys, even though it's down a little bit, we did dip down from that 29,000 to this. Um, Crypto, I never tell people when I'm going to exit until I exit, and that way it's on the minute, and I don't get undercut. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really like how the portfolio is looking a little bit more balanced. It used to be really heavily weighted into ACRX. About 50 to 60% of the portfolio was ACRX, and now it's spread out a little bit more evenly across a variety of stocks. And I like the plays that I'm in here. I like ACRX. I like Space. I like SPAC. I like Waiter. I like ETM. Do you guys see that AstraZeneca vaccinations are starting in London next week? That's super tasty. They're starting with healthcare providers. They're starting with doctors and nurses. Well, I mean, from attendee perspective, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I mean, as far as AstraZeneca taking a hit on it, they've got that nice coverage from the EU where they said you can't be sued. So as far as the company goes, like AstraZeneca has that legal coverage because of them pricing it so low. So pretty happy about that. Um, but yeah, hopefully nothing goes wrong, right? Hopefully it works out well and everything goes and looks good. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, I got space calls. Yeah, I think I made about 300% on my space calls. So those did quite well. Um, I'm almost 100% on this on these ACRX calls, so we'll see what happens there. Um, all right, GMBL. Yeah, we can talk about GMBL. I've got to be full disclosure here, guys. I am not a proponent of esports as a sector. A lot of the holy shit. Look at the spy. The strike price for my ACRX calls is 250. Look at the spy dump. Again, guys, there's a lot of people sweating on SPAC, but for me, again, I think this goes 25. Expiration is December 18th. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a smoke a joint situation where it's like, you know what you're doing, you know what you did. I'm doing the same thing, man, and it gets that much worse when people keep sending you messages of like, ACRX is down, should I get out? Space is down, should I get out? SPAQ is down, should I get out? It's like, you guys are making it hard for me to diamond hands. All right, so GMBL, guys. It's an online gambling company in Canada that is based out of Malta. So right away, that's a red flag for me of like, no, I wouldn't trade it on that. Now, esports gambling. My question with this one is, would I be more inclined? First of all, gambling in Canada is not a huge market. It's an extremely small market. We have just a little bit over 30 million people in the country as a whole. Okay. Of that, sports gambling, I would say, is probably like 3, 4 million people at most. It's not a booming industry like in the States. So I don't like this setup. My big question would be like, why would I go into GMBL when DraftKings is sitting here and they've got the US market, right? The For me, it's always going to come back to DraftKings if I even wanted to make this play, which I don't. I don't like this esport sector. I'm not showing my screen because I'm a tool. Okay, perfect. So yeah, GMBL guys, esports online gambling in Canada, based out of Malta. Um, yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, it is a tax thing for sure, but that doesn't give me increased confidence with GMBL that it's not filing taxes in Canada while it's operating in Canada. This is not a super huge company, and this shows me that they're trying to evade financials for one reason or another. So, again, if I have to pick between them, my thoughts on this are I like DraftKings a lot more. But again, I wouldn't play the sector as a whole. Esports gambling for me is not going to be this huge thing. Sports gambling as a whole is a thing, but not even in Canada. In Canada, it's a super small segment. So yeah, they're doing Canadian gambling on esports. It's like 500,000 people, maybe, and it's all young teenagers, like people 19 through 25, maybe. And and when's the last time anybody in here bet on an esports event, if ever? I know I have never bet on an esports event. Does anybody here actually put money down on an esports event in one of these apps? I'm not talking like you and your buddy bet on the Dota World Championship. I'm talking in one of these apps. Yeah. So exactly, Smash Ice. Like the farmers bets, no problem. Between you and your buddy, like I bet you $100 this guy wins. I'm sure that's happening. But as far as using these apps to make it happen, I just don't see it. Financially, I don't see it. Um, yeah, I don't like this company. I don't. Do not like it. Let's see what else we have going on here. So this guy is trying to remain long-term bullish, short-term bearish on Mattel because of the films. And I agree, except the only film that is still on the docket for December, film release 2020. Okay, VOD limited, limited release, Proxima limited, 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 Hulu, Netflix limited, limited, Jujitsu limited. Ooh, Nicolas Cage, Jujitsu limited, Hulu limited, Netflix, Hulu, Netflix limited, 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 VOD, Apple TV, Amazon. So Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, All My Life, which I'm sure this is going to be a massive blockbuster. Coming, Death on the Nile, which is the Murder on the Orient Express Hercule Poirot sequel. News of the World with Tom Hanks, no clue. And Wonder Woman 1984 and Monster Hunter. Everything else is a limited release or Amazon. So literally, it's Monster Hunter or Wonder Woman. Those are your picks. Who makes the toys for Wonder Woman? Mattel. This is it. This is all that there is Wonder Woman. Disney Plus is not going to go bank on Pixar's soul for Disney Plus. It's just not going to happen. The money is going to come from Wonder Woman this year. If anything, the big thing for Disney is the Mandalorian, right? Mandalorian starts up. Mandalorian, we're looking at a October 30th release into December by the end of the episodes here. So, yeah, I expect this to do quite well for Baby Yoda, but again, that's Mattel as well. So I think we're looking pretty solid there. Just want to see what's going on in the news here. There's a lot of guys that are still tiptoeing around the concept of negative rates. I don't think so. Pola. So Pola is one that I got my ass handed to me on. This is Polar Power. EB hybrid DC systems, direct sales. This is kind of a green energy play. At 250, it's not terrible. It looks like it wants to go as high as 4 whenever it gets news, but outside of that, guys, I know I played against Pola on its meteoric rise and got hurt. I would stay away from this just personally because I've been burned on it before. Yeah, that's kind of where I am with Pola. With Flux, Flux is kind of back all over the place. This is buy the dip. You got back in? Yeah, the SBI hype. Yeah, so Flux is back down to $8. It'll probably level out, I think, somewhere closer to 10. So it's not a terrible place to buy the dip, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna free up capital to move into that play. Um, GeoVax is up 36% after signing a patent biological materials license agreement with the National Institute in support of GeoVax's development of a vaccine. Financial terms of the agreement were not disclosed. License agreement allows GeoVax to use materials and patent rights owned by agents of the United States to create preventative modified. This is interesting. This is a low float nothing that got the approval. It was around $3. It's up to 4. up $1 already today. CTI Biopharma. CTIB? CTIC. Okay. Yeah, they're based in the US, so I'm okay with that. Let's check their pipeline. Yeah, I don't know what to do with Enox. I've got to be honest with that, guys. Having a real hell of a time with Enox. It just seems crazy to me that they've thrown it all on the table and said, "Here we go." Um, yeah, it's just from the merger hype. It's just the merger hype. And if historically what we're seeing on SPAC is that, or on mergers of this type, these EV, Nikola, whatever, is that it runs on the day and a couple of days afterwards, and then it falls again. So, yeah. So, with CTI guys, they have a phase 3. It's not approved. A phase 3 not approved. So this is good. This is actually a really nice place to start looking at biopharma. For those of you that don't know about that, what was my opinion on WPRT? I'm still bullish on WPRT. We're just waiting. I've got calls into January on WPRT. So, waiters making moves today. Well, that's good. I needed to do that. Yeah, I'm up 120 bucks today on waiter. That's not bad. I've got an 1174 average on SPAC, guys. So, I mean, as we move into this week, there's 2 more days here until the merger vote. I think tomorrow we see some hype. My waiter calls are profitable. I mean, what I am tempted to do here is just take the profit on these Mattel calls. 3 of them. Let's see. Okay, so these Mattel calls I got for 64 a piece, 3 by 64. I mean, for me to take 80 on those isn't bad. Okay, so 84, that's not bad. I've got 343 there. I think I am going to want to take more of. You know what? I'm not forced to do anything there. I'm just going to take the profit on that. What are your thoughts about the earnings call coming up for Fiverr? Fiverr's going to do quite well, I think. I think gig economy is going to continue to do really, really well, actually. Um, right now people are not looking to employ people, but they still got to get work done, which means that you have got to have that remote staff. You have to have it, which is where this is playing in, right? You have to have that remote staff here. um, Damn, man, almost 50 viewers. That's fantastic. Pretty pumped about that. Yeah, I think Fiverr is really strong in the earnings, guys. I wouldn't be surprised to see it run. When is its earnings? 7 upwards revisions. It's on the 28th, so 2 days from now, pre-market. What do the weeklies on Fiverr look like? FVV. Is that right? Fiverr? Fiverr. FVRR options. The weekly. Oh shit, that's expensive. um, that'd be outside my price range, I think. um, I don't think it's gonna run something crazy like up to this 210 mark by any means. This is super expensive. I'm not gonna go near that. That's crazy. Um, yeah, that's crazy. But I think it does do well. Did you hear weeklies? You did, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was good. I didn't go complete degen on it. I did a decent job. Yeah, so I mean, there's Mattel back down to 1360. I'm glad that I got out with a profit on those options, so that's not bad. Maybe I let it come back down here and I take a look at. So let's go closer to the money. Let's go Mattel April. Mattel April. Yeah, I don't need to take this play now. I think I would rather have the 350 here to be able to do things with if I see a play developing. I think I'm gonna hold that cash. I'm gonna hold that cash and let the plays that I've got in here play out. And yeah, I think it's a good idea for me to not be so busy inside this options portfolio. I don't want to dedicate too much time and effort to that options portfolio. I kind of just want to have the plays in there do their work and kind of flow from there. Spy Guys is it's not sure what it wants to be. It wants to be down, it wants to be up, it wants to come back down. Like it's all over the place. LAC continues to just do fantastic here. LAC options for February. December 1250. I've never used it, but I will definitely check it out. I'm gonna take one of these LACs, I think. See if I can't get somebody to give me this. Oh, fine. I'll just slap the ass. Showing the browser on stream? That's still a browser? No, I thought you guys could see that. Anyway, I just took an LAC position for 1250. Um, this has been an EV play. Oh, it was a couple of minutes ago. Okay. So this is definitely an EV play, LAC with their lithium mine. Either way, I think whether it's Trump or whether it's Biden that wins, LAC is a really strong play. I will probably look at picking up some equity on it. Right now, obviously, with funds tied up in a wide variety of plays, that's not an option at the moment. But waiter, that's all right. It's up buck 69 on the day. That's not bad. GameStop is still at 15. That's crazy. Um, have not heard anything out of Innovation Pharmaceuticals in a while. All right, so this is the last news that we have. All right, I'm about to go hot mic here, just so you guys know. I want to know, what do you guys think in the event that we do not get a seamless transition of power? Because I think that
So
this is more and more setting itself up to not be either way that this goes. If Trump takes it on the night of, I don't see the Democrats just bowing down to that. They're going to fight that tooth and nail, and vice versa. If Biden wins it on the night of, Trump's going to say no freaking way, right?
I'd say minimum 6 weeks unrest, rioting, and stuff like that. Minimum.
6. That's it.
I said minimum 6 weeks.
Redemption's got a bit of 6. Can I get a 7? Anybody got 7 weeks? 7 weeks.
Minimum.
Listen, you got to give me a number here.
Okay, let's see. So December. I'm gonna say it depends on how cold it is. If it's super cold, people are gonna bitch online and not really do much.
Yeah, cold
But
doesn't really affect California, which is where most of the bitching is going to happen, right?
yeah, so I think if we have I mean, surprisingly, riots and temperatures and crime has a correlation with how hot it gets. So I think if we have a mild winter, I think we can last this into the next year, but or sorry, not sorry, into the full 4 years that he's in office. But I think if we have like a harsh winter, I want to say probably about 6 weeks until they realize how cold it is. Then they're gonna pack it until the weather gets warmer.
The Donald Trump Joe Biden projects the biggest betting event ever.
Hasn't really changed much.
Yeah, I mean Trump's kind of floating that 125, 145 range. Biden's floating that 160. His is a little bit bigger gap, like 160 to 200.
I don't understand American betting odds.
I don't think DGLY is the biggest winner. I think they will do quite well on this. Um,
Trump actually dropped a little in his betting odds in the last week or so.
yeah, I think that the biggest winner on this is stocks like OLN, Big Five, Smith and Wesson. You're gonna see big gains there. I mean, are we literally just going to get a divided states of America? Is that what's going to happen? We're going to have two countries. It'll be the Republican states of America and the Democratic states of America. We're going to do a North Korea, South Korea thing. Is that where this is headed?
Are you guys forgetting the Supreme Court, that they have the power to install a president?
Yeah, no, I'm not forgetting that. But just because that happens doesn't mean that we don't see the Democrats throw rancor over it, right? Like, oh, you pushed through a Supreme Court nomination that got you the presidency, refuse to accept this. We're gonna bitch and moan and complain until we get our way. Followed by states like California that have already hinted at, if Trump wins again, we're out of the United States, and it's like, well, okay, is this literally what we're going to do? We're going to have like I guess it would be less of a North South Korea and more like an India thing where you're going to have the East and the West Coast being the Democratic states of America, with the exception of Alaska. And then you're going to have the middle section of the country being the Republican states of America.
First off, okay, so it has happened before. It happened during Gore. Another one.
Yep.
I forget the other one.
Yeah, Gore should have
Second,
actually
they
won the
have.
election, but the Supreme Court gave it to him, or gave it to Bush. Yeah.
Yeah, so we literally had a president who technically didn't win, and it all went fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
what was
Bush
it?
is
You
a
said,
different animal than Trump.
but you said that the Supreme Court.
Actually, I don't know. I remember everyone just freaking the fuck out as well. I
Rita,
don't know.
you said
Like,
that
I don't.
you said that the Supreme Court can stall it, but I mean, a majority of the it was it when they swear in ACB, they're going to be what was it mostly Republican, and if the Democrats pull the same thing that they did last time, where they're just like, oh, we're just not going to show up, we're just going to leak pictures of these missing kids or these kids from the ice camps and stuff like that, then it'd just be an easy win, uncontested.
The nomination's through. It's a done deal. As of today, the Supreme Court is a 6-3 split to the conservative side.
Oh, excellent.
That's a done deal. They pushed it on Sunday. Weos, thanks for the subscription. Sunday they did that. They took care of that yesterday with the Democrats that were there were saying, well, if we can push through this Supreme Court nomination, why can't we just push through the HEROES Act? And the Republicans' response was, because the HEROES Act is a joke. To which I agree. I absolutely agree.
Clavington, they're already here. They're just in small splinter towns like Caledonia where no one really cares.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they could make Canada any more socialist than it already is.
No, I just find it still funny how, and I find this hilarious how they were basically going to take over Caledonia because they were going to march through from the Canadian Tire through town to the bridge. And I'm like, how is that? How are you conquering the town if you're just going to walk through the town? Like,
yeah.
Are we going like by battlefield rules? Like the longer you occupy this part, the more time you capture it. Like what the.
Saki, that's how the Supreme Court appointment actually goes. So under the Gore Bush, guys, huge thank you for all the follow subscriptions, all that amazing jazz. You guys rock. As far as the Bush appointment by SCOTUS goes, there was an issue of ballot recounts in a contested Florida district that would give the Electoral College votes from Florida to one candidate or the other, and either candidate would have won the election on that. There was an initial recount that at first gave Bush the win, and then a second recount gave Gore the win, at which point the Supreme Court was asked to rule on it because the country needed a president. And we didn't have 4 months to constantly be recounting to come to a conclusion. So what they did was Supreme Court sat on the case. They reviewed everything, and what they decided was whoever won based off the numbers on the night, the night of the election, won the election, and that was Bush. So Bush took it. Now, my five-head let's play Putin chess with the U.S. electoral insight into this is because the Democrats leaned so hard for so long into mail in, and then they didn't get the money that they thought they were going to get to help the USPS actually deliver ballots and get them counted in a timely fashion. You have a much larger percentage of Democrat votes currently sitting in mail format than the Republicans who have been encouraging people from go to vote at the polls, vote at the polls, vote at the polls. So I think that the night of, an anonymous gifter gifting all them tasty subs. Thank you for that. The night of the election, I think what we are going to see is an anonymous cheer. Ooh. I think what we're going to see is that Republicans on the night of the election are going to have wins, unexpected wins, surprising wins. And the night of, all Trump needs to do, I mean, as soon as all polls are closed across the country, he needs to, from the second they say polls are closed, go, I win. He has to make that declaration immediately. I win. Biden's initial one, if it doesn't say that he's going to win, he needs to come out and say immediately, we need to wait until all the votes are counted. And then they go back and forth for 2 weeks, is what we're going to see. Okay? And 2 weeks of back and forth on, I won. No, you didn't until we count all the votes. You got to count all the votes. Well, how long is it going to take to count all the votes? Well, we don't know yet. And then it's going to be back and forth like that for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, Trump's going to go, this is ridiculous. I won on the night of. You guys are just stalling. We need a decision. Supreme Court, let's go. 6-3, right-leaning Supreme Court. They hand it to Trump. And then we find out 2 months later that he got obliterated in the polls. They just couldn't count the ballots fast enough. And the whole world loses its mind, which is why we're breaking out that hypothetical of, does this result in, and when I say civil war, please let's not all go to the extreme of what was the actual civil war, but do we see some kind of political outrage, more democratic civil war happening as a result of these results? I very much think Trump walks through the election, whether it's Supreme Court nominated or not. But
I mean, let's be fair. Most of the generation now has just been like pampered and pansies. Now they're just going to take to the online war rather than the physical war. They don't have any guns. I'm just saying.
You say that, but I mean, we've seen plenty of damage done by Antifa. We've seen plenty of.
They burned down cities, bro. I'm sorry, but
yeah, they were allowed to burn down cities because they were told everybody was told to stand down.
So you think that Portland's gonna all of a sudden start?
Oh no, that city's done. I think that city's done.
Well, that's what I mean. So that's what I'm asking is, like, the democratic states that have allowed the burning, pillaging, and looting. I'm not talking about protesting. To be clear here, guys, I support the BLM movement. I support what they are doing. I support the peaceful protesters that are taking a page out of Martin Luther King's book, Martin MLK Jr., his book, and really peaceful protest for the sake of advocacy towards a cause. I am completely behind BLM. I am talking about the shit show that is burning down buildings, stealing from Gucci and Armani stores, Rolex, looting, pillaging, rioting. That's what I'm opposed to here. And I'm wondering, do the democratic states that have allowed that up to this point, I just can't see them locking down on it. I see this getting significantly worse in a time where you're kind of hoping things are getting better, but New York is looking like more and more of a shit show with each passing day, and Cuomo's busier with his book publication than he is of actually fixing the problems in the city. So does this get to a point of escalation where we actually see states considering seceding from the union?
They're going to try.
Well, it's not hard to do, right? Rita, my understanding of a state removing itself from the union is that they have to do essentially a referendum, right? They have to do a vote specifically for exiting. It has to be very clear, plain language. Do you want to secede from the United States of America? And then the vote goes to the state as a whole, and they vote yay or nay, and then we got a Brexit situation, right?
I mean,
yeah, but it requires it. Well, it all depends on the state. Okay, federalism, which is the states' rights, right? It's very different than any. Also, fucking dysfunctional for people who observe from the outside. But yes, the problem is they need a majority in most states of their own legislature to do that. And that's going to be hard as well, because within states, they're divided as well.
Yeah,
So
I think
the
they're
U.S. is kind of built to keeping the status quo, right? So
actually, to add on to that,
here's
Rita.
the problem. It doesn't matter whether they want to do it or not. It's about the money.
Yeah, I was just going to say
Okay?
that. They can't touch it.
Budgets require to have federal money, right?
Yeah.
What people don't understand is that the federal government funds a lot within the states. And that's how the federal government has so much power over states is, oh yeah, you don't want to do that?
I agree,
Fuck
Flood
you,
Racer.
we're not going to fund you. That's literally what they do. And then you have some $1 billion hole in a budget, and you can't just not run. I'm trying to think of what federal. You can't just not have health coverage, okay? Like, you can't just not have running water around everywhere. You can't just not fix roads. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to touch on too. It's just like they're going to try to do it, but like the pissy little child that ran away from home thinking that they can do better and stuff like that. They're going to run home. They're going to run home the moment they get hungry because they realize that, oh shit, I don't have any money to buy food, or I don't have any money to go buy this or anything like that.
So Jacob Ling is saying what we see is 4 more years of what we've seen, which is one really shallow attempt to remove Trump from office using the current system. One after another, after another, after another. I'm just not sure how they do that if it's a Supreme Court that appointed him, right? Because technically that's the judicial branch putting him into office.
Technically,
Trump's technically not involved in that process, right? They can't say that.
Does double jeopardy apply to the situation if they try to impeach him again?
No, I mean they can
impeach him for another
doesn't
thing.
Mean remove.
Mm-hmm.
It just means it actually has no power. I mean, you would need to go a step further and actually prove that he committed capital crimes.
Yeah, so first you would have to. It is a necessary part of the process for sure. Where first you have to impeach him, then you have to charge him with a crime, then he has to be convicted of that crime, and ultimately you know that court case, whatever it is going to go back to the right-leaning Supreme Court, and they're just going to dismiss it. So I mean, it's really interesting how big of a power play this Supreme Court ruling is, and that the news and the media is not really pumping this. They're treating this like it's not a big deal. The election is almost a secondary at this point to the Supreme Court nomination today. This nomination is going to change the social and political landscape of the United States for the next 30 years. Yeah, spy down. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's worth a generation too, because I think it was was it you, Rita, that told me that for a generation cycle to actually have change, it takes about 30 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the other issue is it puts the U.S. at enmity with a lot of its neighbors, right? So, and a lot of its trade partners, where the trade partners are moving further to the left, and here's the states actually positioned to go pretty hard right for the next couple of decades here.
The thing is, they ruined strategically the Democrats, and frankly, I'm kind of in the middle where I want balance, and the fact that we could possibly have a Senate, a House, a president, and a Supreme Court nominee that's all right leaning is just total terror in my eyes.
Yeah.
No. So I'm trying to be very centrist about this, that I like the flip flop, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, they shot themselves in the foot by insisting that everyone go to mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
You didn't need Trump to push his power play to know that back when Gore, I mean, if you know how Gore happened, why would you even advocate for mail-in ballots? Why?
Because they forget history. No, because these guys don't learn from history. They forget about it until it actually, they only look at, and they only selectively look at what benefits them personally, rather than the whole scope of it. They're only paying attention to one side, which is the result they want, not the whole cause and effect of the situation.
I got to be honest, Redemption. I think that they did know what they were doing, and the plan wasn't necessarily about the ballots. I think what they were doing was they saw the court of public opinion leaning on let's be safe with COVID, let's be safe with COVID. So they put in the USPS $25 billion shit show that was in the HEROES Act for sure, right? It is the nuclear option for sure with the judges, but the reality is I think what they did was they went public opinion is in the court of let's do mail-in ballots as much as possible, and so they said, well, the USPS needs a lot more money to do this, and then they tacked it into this massive wish list HEROES Act bill. And unfortunately for their timing, we started to see the COVID cases come down. I think if COVID had continued to rage into the HEROES Act and gone unchecked, that we very likely could have seen the HEROES Act approved. But just because of the timing on that, they lost that. I think it had very little to do with them legitimately wanting people to mail in their ballots. I think it had everything to do with them pairing that USPS budget into that for that purpose and getting the rest of the shit that was in that HEROES Act bill approved. I think that was what they were hoping to achieve. And had they done that 2 months sooner, it's very likely that that bill would have gone through. But because of the timing on it, they just missed the timing. And I don't think anybody, whether Republican, Democrat, crystal ball, Nostradamus, like I don't think anybody could have seen what exactly COVID was going to do. But that it declined when it did was possibly the single greatest victory that Trump could have got, because now this bill is dead on the floor. Nobody's going to vote through this massive bill. Doesn't matter how much they pare it down, to be honest. Like it started at almost $6.5 trillion. Then they pared it down to 5. Then it was 3. Now they're down to 1.8, and it still can't go through. The USPS is not going to see the money. There's no way. But I think it was really more about the Republican bill got through, and the Republicans got what they wanted for money, and the Democrats wanted their shot at it, and they didn't get it. I think that was the play. It wasn't actually about them winning on a mail-in ballot, because traditionally that was the Republicans that have that mail-in ballot presence. So I don't think that this was to their favor. I don't think it was a political play in as much as they were trying to make a positive result happen on the election. I think it was bigger than that. I think they wanted their wish list pushed through under the guise of we need to have mail-in ballots as an option. But it thankfully didn't happen, because for those of you that weren't here, I did actually read through the massive 1,800-page shit show that was the HEROES Act, and let me tell you, as much as the Democrats and headlines say it was for the low-income people, the people that need it the most, the single moms out there, that is absolute bullshit. They gave 10 times what they were going to give to single mothers and struggling homes to pot stocks. So marijuana got 10 times what low-income family and single mothers received. So that bill, for those of you that thought that this was the Democrats caring for the little guy, it absolutely wasn't in any way. It was an absolute atrocity, and it's really hard to actually even accurately price it out, because after the first 500 pages or so, they just stopped putting price tags on things. They were just saying, well, we're going to do this, which is really scary. If you look at the what was the name of it was the CARES Act that went through, right? The CARES Act was priced out, guys, line by line. The Republicans went through everything. This is what it's going to cost. This is what it's going to cost. And you could go through that whole bill, and I did. It was much smaller. I think it was about 1,200 pages. You go through it, and it's priced out start to finish. You know what it's going to cost, or at least there's a budget for what this should cost. And there's money left over still from the CARES Act, so they did a decent job on that one. The HEROES Act, after 500 pages, they're just like, we're just going to say we're doing things at this point. Nobody's still actually reading this thing other than Millennial up in Canada. So who cares, right? But the reality is they didn't price out what they were planning to do. But ultimately, like I'm genuinely concerned for November 4th. I know the election's on the 3rd. I'm concerned about the 4th. The next morning is going to be like, buckle up, boys. I mean, SPY response. What does the SPY do? How does the market react to Trump clearly, irregardless of what the results are, coming out and saying, I'm president still? Does the SPY blink? Does the SPY just go with it? They just run with it like Trump won?
Green to the moon.
Green to the moon. We got a green to the moon from Europe, which is interesting because, I mean, there's not a lot of super bullish sentiment around this right now, but I love having that dissenting opinion.
Yeah, Rita, on the day SPY Darkpool, keep wanting to say no.
No sooner do we.
I say the market
Give me your robot.
You really need a stable internet connection.
like certainty.
Use your big boy voice, Rita.
For those of you wondering what that terrible noise is, that would be Discord and all its high functionality for voice audio. Essentially, what we like to refer to as robo-digging Martini Rita, who actually knows what she's talking about, and I wish I could understand what she just said. I'm sure she will reset and come back and give us whatever that wonderful information was. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Discord down. Discord. It's funny how unoptimized Discord is for voice, given that they have one job. It's great. I can stream now to 10 at 1080p on Discord, but I can't get it to work on proper mobile audio. But it's kind of crazy that as we're talking about this is the article that pops. Citigroup prepares for contested presidential election.
So about that California thing, my first response was that they probably can't afford it. So I went digging for some numbers, and apparently they're about net even for what they give to the federal government versus what they receive. So if they need to secede, it's not like a monetary issue if they just take the taxes that they're paying out.
I think the harder thing with California is, do you see Northern California break off? And this is what I mean. Like, I think it just causes one divide into another. Sure, California votes, and the majority are in Southern California, and they are Democrat leaning. And so let's say they do split. You don't think the North is immediately going to try to secede from California? Like, screw you guys, we're out?
There's going to be capital flight, which is what I think is going to happen.
Okay,
They head to Texas? Everybody to Texas?
Yeah.
Me?
We can hear
Okay.
you
You guys hear me?
enjoying Optimus Prime.
Fuck.
Autobots, roll out. Don't DMCA me on that crap. Okay, so Citigroup is saying they will certainly be prepared. Third largest bank has said they would. It's a one of kind of thing. I would say it's a kind of one of the things that we are and certainly will be keeping an eye on. This year we've gone through unprecedented periods of volatility, and I think the markets have stood up well to that. Later, Logor Hunter. This is very interesting. Now, everybody's kind of taking this line. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I think that it might be. Is that a furry emote? Who has the furry emote?
Stock guy.
Oh, Stocky.
It's when he put on that fox outfit. It was great.
Oh.
Rita,
I guess
I've
I should get a
already taken the
beaver outfit, huh?
But oh, I said Rita. I've already taken the put, so.
Do they sell beaver outfits? I'm sure they do, right? Oh, hey, by the way, guys, maybe don't search beaver outfit.
I saw some at Orifice Road, and I'm like, they had the beaver, they had the unicorn, they had a dragon, and I'm like, I would totally send all this to TSG, but at the price I'm paying for what I have to pay for shipping and everything, it's not worth it. The entertainment value would be forever, though.
Oh, piss off. Okay, so what is this? What is the password here? It is... do 216.
And Jonas, like I was thoroughly floored at how many people were still lining up at Orpheus Road to just get in the stores, like Kitchen Stuff Plus, Ardeen or something like that. No, not Ardeen. The stores like later down the line, going down further east of it, like they had lineups coming out of the store, and I was surprised by that.
All right, I I gotta see if I can get this here before Halloween. I don't know that I can. I may need to go to the store today and find a... Let's see, does Walmart have beaver costume?
Why do you need to be a beaver?
Well, Stockeye had his Fox stream, but I feel like the beaver's more Canadian, so for Halloween, for my Halloween stream.
Why, Spy? Why you do this?
Yeah, I don't mind the email. You guys can go at that Yahoo email. It's my junk email. As far as password length goes, it was the wrong password anyway, so I'm okay with that. Okay, Walmart does have an adult beaver costume. Maybe I go to Walmart today and pick up a beaver costume for the 31st. Do you guys want to see that? You guys want to see me stream in a beaver costume? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take that as a yes. I'll just do it. I'll go get it. My wife will love that. I will work on tracking it down. Then it will be what it will be. I will head out after market today to go grab a beaver costume of some kind. Now, if they only have a children's costume, I will buy the children's costume, but just wear the head. I will cut off the beaver's head and wear it on top of my hat. That may be the best that I can do, but we'll see what kind of selection I have as far as costumes when I get there. In other positive news, Bette Midler confirms that there will be a Hocus Pocus sequel. I know that's what everybody's been waiting on.
I got an argument with my wife about that this weekend.
Yep.
She didn't believe me.
I mean, if I ever needed to see Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker in a movie that didn't need to be made, that would be the one. I mean, unless you're going to do Sex in the City 8 or whatever they're on.
They should have done it 10 years ago.
They really should have, but Disney was still at the point of creating new IP at that point instead of just rehashing shit.
Right.
Not that I don't love Disney, guys. They are what they are. Trump's tweeting.
And it's one of those. It doesn't say it's one of those movies that should have just been well enough left alone. It's good as it is.
There's a great headline: "Make America Great Again." Again. Genius, New York Post.
We go again.
We go again. We go again. It is low. It is no longer MAGA. It is now MAGA.
The next slogan will be manga.
Oh, manga. Ooh.
I don't know what the end's for yet. I'm still trying to contemplate that in my head.
It'll be the Democrats running against Trump saying, "Make America not great again."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right? Clever play. Just have it manga and then have like weeb.
Oh man. If I go robo, I'm sorry. I've got to log into a VPN.
Fake news media is riding COVID all the way to the election. Losers. Attaboy, Trump. Take all those Democrats that said, that was fairly presidential of you on the last debate, and just throw it back in their face with losers. The big thing that I'm still looking at, I've got notes to look back at this, is the amount of money that Biden has raised over the last 2 months is ungodly. And I would very much like to know where that money's coming from. Yeah, I've seen it. 6-0 up. I could think of several ways they could have done a worse job. Not closing the China border when they did, that would have been worse. Not just spending money like crazy to try to get tests out there, I think that would have gone worse. Honestly, while the red tape cutting has me a little bit scared with the FDA over the next 10 years, what kind of kids growing a third hand we get out of this, but I mean, ultimately, I think their hands were a little bit tied and they had to do that as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that could have gone worse, but well, yeah, there was a travel ban on China as of what, January. I was in San Diego, so right after January. And I mean, that's one point. There's a reason why he keeps coming back to it, is because that is one point that it was a Republican push. He made the executive decision. He did push it through. The China ban wasn't partial. The China ban was complete. Where he failed was the European ban. I don't know why he took so long on the Euro ban, given that Spain and Italy were an absolute gong show. That should have been a much quicker trigger pull. But again, it's not like the Democrats were rallying for a quick border close in either case. Well, he was blocking down travel from China. We had Pelosi attending San Francisco New Year's parades, Chinese New Year's parades, no mask, saying we don't need to close borders with China, and he's a racist for doing it. So, yeah, I mean, neither side has come out particularly favorable through this. As far as managing it goes, I mean, if we're going to go by numbers, China's doing a fantastic job. China's really got some great stats. They've got some wonderful numbers.
Yeah, right next to North Korea.
Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great. The initial outbreak, when nobody knew what to do with it, market wrecking and hype right now.
You also saw the graph that I showed earlier last week. North Korea is also one of the most best places to live for if you want equal wealth equality. That or the ocean, yeah.
Tell you that 340 put this morning. If you guys took that 340 put, you're liking life right now. My goodness, how low can she go?
She needs to go lower.
How low though, man?
This
is getting
by
dirty.
my counts, if it drops below 340, I'm okay with that, because then the next stop is 338.68, and I'm okay with taking it out there.
So for those of you that weren't here during the COVID dump, first halt is 7%. We are not down that far. There were days, guys, where we were regularly getting halted on the movement of 7% on the SPY. So just breathe. We're not quite there yet. It's 1.5 on the day. There's a lot of room for this to fall still, if it's going to fall to a halt. But that's definitely not. I mean, look at this. Look, oh man, look at this board. Look at this board. That red. Just red. This is nutty. Oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Do I have a stop on SPAQ? No, I do not. And that is important, guys. If you are going to trade, I recommend that you do those really sound things of having an out, knowing your placements, having stop losses on there, doing all those things. I don't do them, but you guys should definitely do them. Really sound management of portfolio demands that you guys do those simple things and those simple tasks. If I wasn't such a degen sitting here literally watching this all day, I would probably put those in. And like if I had to run off to work, or if I got to run off to a meeting, I know last week I put in some exits on stuff, but it didn't hit while I was gone. But I mean, like, yeah, there are things that are not going really great, and that's okay. I think into November we still see Space get the news on the launch, so that's why I'm staying in that. SPAC, I think we've got 2 days here into the merger. That vote's going to go through, and the EV sector is going to be looking for positive news. I think this week is just going to be a red week, and any positive news that you see is going to get a little bit of love. What's interesting to me is that Waiter is up today. Its earnings are not until next week. I think Waiter is going to do extremely well on their earnings. I would love for it to double. I would love for it to go back up to $6, $7, or beyond. But we'll see. We'll see how desperate people become. Remember, guys, hope springs eternal, right? The market wants to win. Even when it doesn't make sense, when it's completely illogical, the market wants to win. It is a lot more accepting of it'll come back, it's still good, than it is of doom and gloom. Now, there does come a tipping point where fear takes over. I don't think so. I did hear a couple of bears on SPAC saying, well, there's no guarantee that it goes through. Nobody's going to vote this through. I don't see that. From what I've read, SPAC is pushing this hard. The major shareholders of SPAC want this EV thing to go through. They saw what Nikola did. They saw how quickly that value rose on the stock, on the share price. I think they want a little piece of the Nikola pie. But the difference with this is they're going to actually produce a vehicle instead of a soapbox derby 18-wheeler, right? I think that's the big difference. Nobody's expecting them to revolutionize the EV market, but they are looking to turn SPAC into an EV stock, which it isn't currently. It's currently an acquisition and merger company. They don't have any services. They don't provide any services. They have no products. They just buy up companies and try to make them profitable. Is LPL still double down till Christmas? LPL is a play on the iPhone, guys. If you think that iPhone, iWatches, and tablets are going to go well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing. No. Yeah, I'm not. I EV as a whole, guys, I still think is a flavor of the week thing. I'm not long trading any of that crap. If I could have had a beautiful entry like Rita had on Tesla, I would probably be pretty bullish on it right now. But I'm not looking to enter an EV play. No, I'm more so looking to play the minerals. I'd probably take LAC as a long-term hold over Tesla, to be honest. Just because LAC has this beautiful, beautiful mine right here domestically in the US. And both Biden and Trump have said that they are big fans of anybody that's going to be helping merging industries in the US. So they've got rights to one of the largest lithium mines in the world right here domestically in the USA. I'm really bullish on LAC.
How am I now?
Better.
Jesus, fuck.
She's back, ladies and gentlemen. Praying first thing on Monday morning.
We're pinning
Are
Rita.
you streaming?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I told you.
Why didn't anyone tell me?
We
It's
did.
so late for him to stream.
We did.
When?
Everybody's hot mic.
Was that when I was robo-dicking?
No, that
Probably.
was before that. That was before that I asked the
Right.
question about Civil War.
Hour and a half ago, so since 9-ish?
Oh, good. I'm glad I've cursed so much on your stream. Good.
That's okay. Let's be honest. We're all grown adults here.
Okay, we're not pinning anymore. Okay, yeah, no, we're not pinning anymore, Rita.
SPY down, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're currently watching this and you in some way have a portfolio that's tied to the SPY, I'm not a financial analyst, expert, or advisor, but you might want to look at your portfolio. It's going down.
Or not.
Can you do the scan for negative beta stuff?
Right now, we've got Grill, GRIL, up 52% on 62 million volume. Muscle Maker, ORD. Anybody know what Grill is? Anybody ever heard of this stock before today? No? Okay, cool. Muscle Maker Inc.
Do they make muscle milk?
Muscle Maker Grill and Healthy Joe's restaurants under the Muscle Maker Grill name. The company had 10 company-owned and 28 franchise restaurants located in the United States and Kuwait. Because they run restaurants. But it's up 60%, 50% today on ridiculous volume. So I assume that this is a low float pump. This may be a shorty. Rita? DSS is another one. It's up 32%. MSEP is the last one. But Grill's looking like a shorty.
So nothing's up that we... You know, I would be at my computer if it wasn't for the total desperation of needing coffee. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be very... I've been tempted to build a watch list here that is like Mara, Riot. What was the other one? There were 3 of them. Yeah, Mara's up 2%. Riot's up 0.5%. I know it's not like a lot of people out there talking about Bitcoin, guys. I don't have 13 grand for a Bitcoin, but I do have enough equity to get into Mara and Riot. Mara, do you have options? You do have options. Into June, do you have options? You do? Okay.
God, why does IB always have trouble retrieving options data?
Don't know. That's why
because you're in Canada.
That's why I used
So
to.
what? Because I'm what, Rita?
You're in Canada.
Oh. The hell am I paying? What's the company now called? Jiffus for crappy options data.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
All right, I'll grab one of those. I'll grab a Mara option. I like it. That they're getting 10,000 more Bitcoin mining machines by March. I'll take a June $3 call. I don't think that the market uncertainty over the next little bit is going to do anything to hurt Bitcoin's price. And that they're going to have 10,000 more miners.
Or you could just buy Bitcoin?
No. I can't do that. I don't have the dollars.
Bitcoin is infinitesimally divisible, so you do it like a penny.
Yeah, but do I think that it's going to go... that direct investment into Bitcoin is going to go more than I would make gains on a equity play on Mara at 280 or an options play for a $3 strike into June. No, I don't think I would make as much on Bitcoin, especially if I'm buying that infinitesimally small penny holding of it. I think I'd do better on Mara. In my opinion, I understand what you're saying though, where like I don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, but at the same time, I would rather take something like Mara.
This is a new ticker, SPXU. The Ultra Pro Short SPY moves opposite of the SPY. Just had a 3 million print out of nowhere at 817. We are currently above that. Are we?
Is this we're prepping for the collapse? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
Get at your parachutes, boys. We're going for a bit of a jump. I'm going to go grab a coffee, watch that big old scary SPY drop there, and I will be right back. I think I'll stream into noon, guys, because I'm not doing my 4 a.m. stream anymore. I think I will go till noon with you guys, so I'll be right back. I am going to mute the Discord, guys, just in case they want to talk about some crazy stuff along the way. Very interesting. So if at the second Redemption had said, "Uh-oh, looks like something bad's about to happen," you guys had done something with that, you'd be looking okay.
I told you if
It was a delicious
it's like I told Stovey. It's like I told Stovey. I noticed it 5 minutes after I got the note for it, and then I only had like a minute to react, and I told you. But then you started robo-dicking, so.
No, I saw what you wrote in Money Voice text. I took it.
Oh, okay. I'm only gonna take this till 338.68. That's the marker. So like once I get to strike.
Redemption, people are asking for you to please save the market. If you could get on that,
No.
that'd be great.
No. I'm betting against my own positions, okay?
This is what we've succumbed to, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a bear market.
Nah, it's not fast enough. It needs to be faster. Come on, SPY, you can make that 2% today. Those are rookie numbers. Come on.
I will say, being around in March for the dump, to see the SPY go down 2% for me, I know a lot of people right now probably are losing their minds watching this market, but for me, for the SPY go down 2% in a day is like, whatever.
I'm just surprised that you didn't like basically succumb to the whatchamacallit, the complacency that like, oh yeah, it has to go down, it has to go down. You adapted pretty quickly.
The world economy will not fail. Can it decline? Yes.
Mhm.
Can it fail in its entirety? No. Mostly on the basis that people are too damn lazy. Nobody wants to reinvent the entire global economy. So they won't let it completely fail. Let some air out of those tires, blow a tire for sure. But I mean, grand scheme of things, this too shall pass, ladies and gentlemen. Can they stop it though? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They just write some new rules. And that's also true, Jimbo. Like, if the entire stock market's gone, your portfolio is the least of your issues. Your issues are clean drinking water, heat through the winter, and where's your food coming from? All of those I have covered, so. And my debt is so low that I'm the last door the bank is knocking on trying to save their ass. My mortgage is even in a private loan, so it's not like a bank is knocking on my door for the mortgage. It's going to keep going. All right, guys. I think we get to play with the poll option today. So let's pop up a poll here, shall we? Manage poll, new poll. End of day, boys. Do we see the SPY? Put one in there for you optimists. Put one in for the realists. I'll put one in for the people watching what's happening. And I'll put one in for the pessimists. That sounds good. Let's do that. Where do we see it going, ladies and gentlemen? Where is the SPY headed? Do we see 320?
338. 338, come on.
Well, there's some optimists in chat. 342's got some love. People see a recovery. That realist vote of 340's in there that people think it's going to come back up a little bit. 335 is cutting in, though. Uh-oh. We got a tie with 335. Nobody is willing to bet 320 yet, though. Nobody is on that 320 vote. We've got about 30 seconds left here, ladies and gentlemen. Make your vote count. It's important. Make sure that you mail in your ballots, and we will count them in due time 3 weeks from now, after the Supreme Court rules that this poll is invalid. Oh, we got a 342. Somebody came in, said 342. It's going to come all the way back. Clavington saying 310. I wasn't pessimistic enough. You need SPY to bring ACRX down to 130. They are not tied in any way, unfortunately. ACRX could care less what the SPY is doing. I'll take that 320. Jimbo Limbo's in on that 320. Harold Lattice says SPY 420, all in ACB. I mean, $4.20. I mean, that's very pessimistic, but we'll see how it goes. All right. It is a tie somewhere between 340, 335, which is exactly where Redemption had it. He says 338 on the day. I'm going to be a little more pessimistic. I'm hoping to see a 337. Oh yeah, Lazy Fa. You wanted me to see what Lazy Fa is?
Lazy FA. It's a pretty decent site. I saw Excel use it. It's like Yahoo Finance, but paid and actually has a better UI.
I don't want to pay. I'm lazy and cheap. Is there a lazy cheap FA site?
Probably.
Seeking
I'm
out
curious really quickly, Millennial. If I sign up for the TubeBuddy thing, do you have a referral link or no?
Yep.
Okay. DM that to me later. Rita, I am considering getting out like now.
Copy that. This goes here. Voila.
I'm out, Rita. 140. Paid 40, out 140. I made back my losses from the previous two runs, so I'm 7 out of 9 now. And I'll be right back.
Okay, top gainers, top losers, highest volume, sector performance, everything's down. Latest news. I like this latest news thing. But it's got a 15-20 minute delay, which makes this lazy FA not super useful.
Oh my Jesus, my contracts exploded. What is happening with SPY? What the?
338. Go to dashboard. Lazy fa. I don't see dashboard. Where's dashboard menu? Dashboard. Log in. Wow. I really do like this. This is actually really fantastic. Have you seen this, Rita?
Seen what?
This lazy FA tool?
Yeah, that's what me and Excel are in every day now.
Yeah, I'm a fan. This makes my LinkedIn searching, guys. I love to do this when I find a new company that I like. I like to find out who their executive staff is and then go add them on LinkedIn, so I get them in my feeds. This is Saki telling me to check this out. Apparently Rita and Exiled, who are two traders that I one day hope to grow up and be like, they use it. So all the cool kids are on it. Institutional investment. I mean, some of this stuff clearly isn't updating regularly because the insider transactions here are wrong. But the rest of this looks good. Four days ago, Charles Schwab has a $250,000 stake in ACRX. Thoughts on the market right now? Move, bitch. Get out the way. That's my degen insight into the market at the moment. Selecta Biosciences, rare pediatric disease tag. I like it. Depending on their pipeline, they had no drugs approved. Obviously, they're sub $5. They've got a pediatric designation for a rare disease, which is mucho big bucks. It's a gene therapy. Understand that if you are playing this, you are playing this on a single designation, which is super scary. So I don't like it that much, just because it's a single designation. They've got a one drug, a one-trick pony. Yeah, I do like that. Shows quarterly data. Okay. How much do they want me to pay them? I don't need to export the data, so I don't need to pay for that. I don't need trailing 12 months. I don't know that I need the pro. I definitely need more than the free, though. What do I do for a living? I'm a digital marketing consultant, and I do public speaking at events, and I sit here with you guys doing YouTube and Twitch. I'm looking to transition more and more into becoming a full-time swing trader. This year was my trial run, starting out with about 2,200 US, 3 grand Canadian, and seeing if I could actually create something out of that. And so far, I'm having fairly decent results. Atypical results, at the very least, I think is what people are calling them. I like to call them exceptional, but atypical at least. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what next year brings. I may be a real trader by next year, but we'll see. Been fairly degenerate up to this point. I am acutely aware that my portfolio scares the crap out of a lot of people, though, so that's something I have to take into account for sure. Earnings plays this week. I'm not really watching earnings this week. I've got Waiter next week, ACRX the following week. Wells Fargo, I've got long calls into. Yeah, no, I don't have a lot in the way of earnings for sure. Real traders only own weed stocks. I mean, what do I know? I'm not a real trader yet. One day I'll get there, right? I've got SPAQ on the merger, space on the news. It's a red day for sure, though. I mean, I'm still good on space. I got a really good entry on space, but this SPAQ deal here, this SPAQ deal. I haven't seen the car itself. No, I haven't. I should probably look at that, right? The Fisker car. Just EV. It looks like a Kia Sorento. Right? That's the Fisker. That's the Kia Sorento. Yeah, it's not a long-term play for me. It's just on the vote, but yeah. I think the market has learned a valuable lesson that you can't just push a model down the hill anymore. I say that though, and GM put a photo of their upcoming EV vehicle and said, "Yeah, no, this is essentially just a mock-up. It's not an actual vehicle. It doesn't really exist." Ooh, Nagi Desu. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Just gonna load up the old Facebook here, and my wonderful wife and kids are out enjoying northern Quebec today. They get to go out on vacation while Dad gets to stay here and work. So here's my beautiful wife and my seven of my 8 kiddos. My eldest is still home working, but there they are enjoying. Yeah, there's my toddler. That's my Scotty Bear. She's super sweet. She'll come in here sometimes in the morning and let us know if SPY is going up or down. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a rock. That's another rock. That's my little dude. There's JJ. That's Charlie. There's my other boy. There's Daniel. Ellie's our daughter who passed away a few years back. Almost a decade ago now. She died from SIDS. So whenever we go to the beach, we write her name in the sand. And there's my dog. 8 kids. 8 kids. 7 there. 1 here with me. Yeah, they're having a blast. I love that they can go do that and they can enjoy themselves and do that whole jazz. JP Morgan sees an orderly Trump win as the most favorable scenario. Interesting. All the financials are weighing in on this election here. Is that a good thing? Did everybody leave? Am I all alone? I feel like I'm alone. Redemption, Rita, thoughts? Financial sector weighing in on the election? Discord has gone quiet, ladies and gentlemen. Said no one left. We've had enough. I mean, this is not going to get better into lunch. I don't see what news is going to start pulling this up. I hear a lot of people exiting positions and heading into cash into the election and hoping to just buy the next day on whatever it sees. I don't know. I guess my issue with the SPY right now is I see it dropping. It needs news to change this. I don't know. I don't know that there's positive news to change this today. Like what? We know we're not getting a stimulus. I guess there's the Supreme Court thing. Does the energy sector bounce this for us today? Is that where we look to for the recovery? Is the energy sector on the SCOTUS appointment? Even at that, they're saying that the oil demand is going to decline into this second wave of COVID. Remember, guys, as terrible as it is, the COVID hospitalization numbers spiking, that is great news for ACRX. Remember, ACRX's play, guys, is on that. It originally was on the military, but now it's also on the opioid shortage. Earn with Todd. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, the spike in COVID hospitalizations, guys, is a huge thing for ACRX. We've already had an opioid shortage where they are having a hell of a time. Ooh, rating with a party of 43. What's up? What's up? What's up with you all, you Toddians? You Toddites, you Todd Ors. What's up, guys? Yeah, we're just breaking down the SPY, going kind of bonkers here and seeing what positive news could run it. I think the only thing that we see as far as this shifting in any real way would be the SCOTUS news coming through. And right now, let's see what's trending. Kramer's on here losing his mind. Twilio's overvalued. Don't see him talking about it. Chile rewriting their constitution. France is fighting with the Middle East. Maybe just SCOTUS. Just put SCOTUS in here and see what's... Not a single Democrat will vote to confirm Amy Coney Barrett. I hope she keeps this fact in mind over the long tenure she is likely to have on the bench. Not sure how that's helpful. I'm not sure why you would want that. I cannot hear you in Discord. No. You guys went quiet on me. Maybe I need to disconnect and come back. We can't hear you, Rita. Nope. Yeah, it's you. It's not me. It's you. Maybe it is me. Dang it, I broke it. I broke it. I'm gonna reload Discord. See if I can get Rita back here. Okay, let's see if that fixed it.
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
So it was me the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Lovely. Love that. I love that. Discord, you can just go throw yourself in a bucket, put some fucking I don't know, lighter fluid on it and just douse it. Just throw a fucking match and it'd be done.
Levi says Pepe laugh, Rita is a boomer. Yikes. Levi, run, man. She's going to put you in quarantine. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the... I don't know how many of your parents out there, but when you've got a kid and you tell them no, or they don't get their way, and they kind of just like, you know, they scowl and they put their chin down to their chest and they kind of stomp their feet. That's kind of like what's happening here with the SCOTUS confirmation is the Democrats have given in to the fact that this is happening whether they like it or not. They're still not happy that they don't get to say what happens though. So we are getting an official foot stomp. Again, that narrative of this is a stolen seat is hilarious because the Senate was elected. It's not stolen. They're doing legally. They're doing exactly what they can. Do you think there's another play for space at the end of November? Yeah, we're still waiting on them to announce the date. I am still bullish on space into the end of November. They've said that the launch is happening, so I'm still bullish on it.
Shit, I missed another 100%. God damn it. Rita, did you get out or?
Yeah, when you said.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that it's hypocritical. I think it's the same thing that the Democrats would have done if they had the Senate back when Obama was in office. That's the big difference. And a lot of people are drawing this tie of, oh, well, this is the same thing as when the last Supreme Court nomination happened when Scalia died and the Democrats weren't able to push it through. They shouldn't do it because the Democrats didn't do it. It's not that the Democrats didn't do it. They couldn't do it. It was a Republican Senate under Obama. They didn't have the ability to push it through. Otherwise, you bet your ass they would have pushed it through. But they didn't because they couldn't. So in this instance, we actually have the Democrat House with the majority instead of the Senate, which results in them being able to make Supreme Court nominations, which results in this going through, whether the Democrats like it or not.
Yeah, so it gets kind of dodgy in this range, Rita, because you got 338.68, which was the target price I was eyeballing, and then you got 338.64, so 4 cents difference, and then you got 338.24, which is another 40-cent difference. Until after 338, then you see 337. But like the ranges are super tight in this area. That dark pool just came at the good time. Yep, and there's my friend's message. Did you get in all that SPAQ put? There was a lot of dark pool activity going down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that for me that's 6.5 a dozen. We're acutely aware that now that the Democrats are saying it's too close to an election, they would have pushed through their nomination under Obama if they had had control of the Senate. So both of those pleas fall on dead ears for me. Both the parties are doing exactly what they would have done. To say that they're all hypocrites, sure, I'll buy that. I'll buy into that. No problem. Here's the last SCOTUS confirmation, guys. You'll see that it goes roughly along party lines: 50 to 48, 24-23, 52-48, 26-23. I mean, this guy Gorsuch was probably the widest gap, 54 to 45. So there were some Democrats that went with him, which isn't surprising because he's a moderate Republican pick. He was very much middle of the aisle, and when we were looking at the Supreme Court cases, oh, actually, it's Roberts, not Gorsuch, that is often the deciding to both sides. But this guy was supposed to be more liberal.
Rita, how do you feel about a 10-cent tomorrow YOLO?
Tomorrow YOLO. What is the tomorrow YOLO?
So, in conjunction to the message from my friend, he says that, yeah, so we are down below a lot of these dark pool prints, especially.
I'm just going to mute them for a second. They're having a little bit of a private conversation, I think. I'm just going to leave that there. Did they put a rule through? Did they put a rule through? Absolutely. So the rule they put through, though, wasn't necessarily about confirming Barrett. The Democrats pushed through a rule that if you had the majority in the Senate, you could veto a filibuster, which would have been the Democrat play to filibuster this through till the election so that the nomination didn't go through. But because they opted to put that through, that the majority in the Senate can veto a filibuster, that's what happened last night, which is why the confirmation is going to happen today. So they did shoot themselves in the foot a little bit there. But we'll see what happens with the ebb and flow of this. Yeah, they did that under Obama. And even when they did it, the head of the Democrats said that we will probably live to regret this. We will live to regret giving the ability for the majority in the Senate to end a filibuster. And here it is. Here it is. Very, very interesting, guys. Slight recovery here, but I think into lunch we see this come back down again, guys. Honestly, there's no news coming. I will keep my eyes peeled for the SCOTUS nomination, but I think I am gonna call it on the day. We're at 11:30. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna leave you with somebody who watches all day, regardless of what the market is doing. He's a full-time streamer, not a guy who's got other things to do like me. But huge shout out to Earn with Todd. You guys rock. Thanks for swinging through today. It was amazing to have you guys just for the little bit that you were here, but I'm here every day from market open till 10:30 or 11. If you guys want to come hang out, Todd can't make it, I'm happy to hang with you guys. But I'm going to send you off to Stock Guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Enjoy it. Have a blast. I will be back tomorrow morning, guys. 9 a.m. See you at the Open.